aware what deepfake can potentially do. What does deepfake mean? It means that someone can use your voice, they can use your video they can use your voice and your and use it to extort people. For instance, if you are an executive or a general manager of a company, we've seen something like that in the past, whereby they used deepfake to extort the company of thousands of dollars, using the company's chairman's um, video and audio. And it's before the differences between what AI can generate and the real life is very, very minute. It will take a very good eye to be able to see that. Please, can we play this? So this video is about 4 minutes and 55 seconds of one of our directors in the FortiGuard lab, um, arm of FORTINET. So he used this engine that had like 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Can we play the video? So this video was uploaded from a public webinar, and what he did was to be able to generate that video to show how deepfake can deceive people. So basically, because he's the head of the FortiGuard Lab Threat Intelligence, so he was able to use that video to count with the audio.
We know that threat actors are not just targeting us at work, they are targeting us when we work. Good morning. My name is Glenn Maiden, Director of Threat Intelligence for FortiGuard Labs Australia and New Zealand. I have some exciting news. We are running a limited promotion to coincide with this event. We know that threat actors are not just targeting us at work, they are targeting us when we work at home as well. As such, for a limited time, you can benefit from a free subscription to our industry-leading threat intelligence for your personal use and also for the personal use of your family members. To access this offer, please click on the link below.
So majorly the video is about offering promotion around Fortinet products for cheaper prices and all that. And it's now saying that if you're interested in that offer, you should click the link below. Because it's coming from a trusted person in quotes. People want to go for it, and it's a phishing attack. It's a social engineering by AI, which is a deep fake. So and one of the ways to actually and this is what AI is causing is merging and merging the reasoning the that reasoning capability between human and machine, which is not making it different from what we see. So we've seen this attack actually happen in real life. These are another video in real life whereby there was a meeting, a virtual meeting. There was a virtual meeting between like six workforce of a company, and the only real person in that meeting was the person that wants to launch the attack. And the guy was able to um, generate images and audios and videos of other people in that meeting, and they also do that attack and extort that company. Don't worry, let's just move forward. Let's move further. So okay. So what does good look like when it comes to safeguarding your environment and providing responses and all that? So one of the things you want to ensure is that you have an adequate incident response team and plans whenever there is an issue or there's an attack in your company. Then we also ensure that there is enough, enough education and around patching your systems regularly to ensure that your systems stays out of vulnerabilities. And also, we've seen a lot of backups connected to the production, which shouldn't be. backups for most especially the disaster recovery should always be on standby, so that whenever there is an issue, organizations can easily fall back to what they have, and so that there will be business continuity and all that. Next. So the easy wins that we've seen in this is the architecture and processes. So every organization should be able to ensure there is a documented processes in responding to threats and responding to incidences and all that. And that's one of the things we do with our FortiGuard labs. Better process and procedures in incident response team. Ensure there is visibility that is centralized and around logging and also proactive patching. One of the things we speak loud is visibility. If there is no visibility, if you don't know or you don't see what's going on within your environment, you know what to protect, and visibility is very key for the security of data systems and devices. Then we have also asset discovery and management. Things around this should be well positioned to ensure a safer environment for every company, for every organizations and company. And at the end of the day, we have also a platform, like my colleague also offered. We have a platform which is known as Security Fabric, and we've been we've been dwelling on this for the past 10 years, which means that you are not when you're protecting an aspect of your environment, you are not just focusing on a single product to buy. You're also able to integrate that product into every aspect of your environment to be able to gain visibility, to have control, to have a level of automation that can be done without your intervention, and also to have central management. And this gives this arms your security postures for better performance on that as well. Can we, for- I think, yeah. Thank you for listening. I don't know if anybody has any question before um,
Thank you very much, Boali, for the detailed presentation on the Nigerian threats and landscape. Now we are going to be calling on one, just briefly. We have one of our business development manager online is joining us from South Africa. So he's going to be making just a brief comment on this presentation. So Mark, you can shoot, please. Mark, just hold on a second. You're trying to ensure that your audio is.
I would like to do something back of what the Holly's done. I'm sitting in Cape Town at the moment, due to logistical issues that people connected to Nigeria. Um, I've got an application here on my cell phone called OpenAI. And just to prove the power of what AI can do, in terms of what Holly was talking about, I'm going to do the following. Please can you send the greeting in the Nigerian dialect, saying good afternoon, greetings, ministers, sponsors of this event. Okay.
Nigeria. A greeting to thee, United States. This translates to good afternoon, dignitaries.
We got to make regarding AI and what they really are is very in cybersecurity and what we have to do in terms of environments is that But the key thing we're looking at, and I think the message Bahama was trying to get across to us regarding 30 God Labs is that the utilization of advanced techniques like AI and machine learning, particularly dedicated to places like 30 God Labs, had significant importance for both government and enterprise institutions due to the ability to safeguard and enhance national security, economic competitiveness, and technological innovation. So 30 God Labs serve as a crucial hub for researching and developing tools to address threats via the intelligence and via the information that is gained from our deployment of FORTINET toolsets. For those, darling, apologies if you have mentioned this. FORTINET currently ships over 50% of all firewalls globally. We've got over 200 million firewalls deployed globally. And then we can look at numbers in terms of endpoints and sandboxes. So all of this information that's threat intelligent that is hitting your environments, as people sitting there in the seats in government, in enterprise, is loaded into 40 yard research labs. And from there, they then start looking at looking how they can look at the evolving virtual tactics, cyber espionage, disinformation campaigns. But it's going to be pretty soon where we're going to be watching channels like CNN, MSNBC, Al Jazeera, and we're going to have to start vetting whether those are real because they've been generated by deepfakes. Unfortunately, that video was John Logan, who was a director at 40 Labs, didn't play too properly. But the reality and what we're trying to demonstrate behind that is that using deepfake technology in an environment in Q1 of this year, in a large enterprise, there was the CFO and another 5 of his staff members, and as Bahana mentioned, the one member was the real member. The others were all deepfakes. So the threat actor actually got credentials, got into a Teams meeting, posed everybody else as a deepfake, and that Goldman clerk transferred $25.6 million into a fake bank account. So these emerging risks and challenges are going to become more complex and more interconnected in global landscapes. So when we start looking at what we can do from a 40 God Labs, why is 40 God Labs so important? It's because of the amount of intelligence that we've got with 40 God Labs. So we've been running our neural nets and our 40 AI machine learning capabilities for over 10 years. In the 6th generation of our AI engine, that is now heavily embedded into what is going to explain to you around the SecOps platform. It's very important to understand just the following concepts. AI and machine learning is not going to go away. I think we are at the beginning. For those of you in the audience, as you can see, I'm a grown man in my 50s. If you remember cassettes, telephones with a rotary dial number, or VHS, Betamax, that's where we are at the moment with AI. And as AI carries on evolving, it's going to rapidly speed up. We've got to get into the position where we are looking at a platform-based cybersecurity solution. And we've got to look at vendors that can analyze vast amounts of data, identify patterns that are indicative of potential threats, and that have to enable automated responses and rapid responses. The dwell time previously was around 200 days of a threat actor in your environment. The SMEs is now saying known vulnerabilities that have to be published within 4 days. Threat actors can, in that CVE, that vulnerability in Microsoft, Adobe, whatever it may be, it's down to basically 4 or 5 days. Intelligence feeds, number 2, whichever you take, whether it's from FORTINET, whether you're using VirusTotal, whether you are using Anomaly, any Sticks taxi feed is important and it has to be embedded into whatever platform you're using. Sandbox analysis is key. It's a fundamental component of what you're going to do in terms of your strategy. and intrusion protection and prevention systems need to be in place. So here we're talking about next-gen firewalls. Lastly, and I hope that this discussion goes to that space, is that security information and event management, or SIEM, are now very important in terms of being deployed within an environment. So having a SOC in place is now no longer a requisite for in terms of risk and compliance. It is now a must-have for threat hunting, for response capabilities, investigation capabilities, view of your total environment. And I'm here not only talking about security events, talking about network events as well. So as we move on this journey, and Boali mentioned OT, a lot of big organizations that have got any form of OT, and OT can be from an elevator, can be to a medical research facility, it can be a manufacturing plant, a mining plant, it can even be a bank. The visibility that is needed of that network in terms of time, in terms of fixing network traffic, which should be a limited one, is key to be able to give enough to review what is happening in your environment. So I hope you enjoyed the rest of today's presentation. We're going to be talking about the SecOps platform and what we're doing around that. I wish I was there with you in Abuja, and I wish you a wonderful afternoon. It's an absolute privilege to have met you virtually in Lagos later this quarter. Hopefully, I can meet some of you face to face. Thank you very much, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mark. We really appreciate that contribution. Thank you very much. We hope you're enjoying your location as well. And thank you very much, our virtual audience, for standing by. And I hope you're enjoying the expose on cybersecurity. So, I'm sure you've seen the program. Just before the tea break, we want to have one of our guests just to make one or two comments around security and cybersecurity in general, and based on his experience in this position, just to enlighten us a bit. So permit me to call on Malam Sahad Bubakar, the National Coordinator, National Cybersecurity Coordination Center, NSA, Nigeria Security Advisor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, the Chief Executive Galaxy. And I'm delighted to be here today, actually. I have two hats. One of the hats is I'm from the EFCC, and I've been investigating cybercrime, money laundering, and stuff like that. And I've been the head of operation Abuja office and the first director intelligence for 2 years at the EFCC. The other side of the hat is I've been in the office of the NSA for over 10 years. One of my role was in 2008 to help develop the Cybercrime Act. Secondly, also to help develop the National Cybersecurity Policy and Strategy for Nigeria. The National Cybercrime Act started since 2003. We don't have any legal framework to criminalize cybercriminality. What we have been using at the EFCC over the years was Advanced Fraud Act, Court of Criminal Code, and Penal Code, and the Constitution itself. In 2015, that is when we have the law passed. And what is the content of that law? One of the sections of the law mandated the Office of the National Security Advisor to develop the National Cybersecurity Policy and Strategy, and which was done in 2015 and reviewed in 2021. The second aspect of that is for the Office of the National Security Advisor to create the National Cybersecurity, National Computer Emergency Response Team, the National CERT. Secondly, also to put up the National Digital Forensic Laboratory. One of the mandate of the Office of the NSA is also to identify critical information infrastructure and advise Mr. President to designate them as such. After that designation, the office is now to provide a protection plan for those critical information infrastructure. Going forward and taking a ride on this, the National Cybersecurity Policy and Strategy was developed in 2015. The implementation of that strategy was not done in fullest. A KPI was done on that, led to the renewed Cybersecurity Policy and Strategy 2021. And within that framework, it mandated the Office of the National Security Advisor to set up the National Cybersecurity Coordination Center to coordinate all the activities of Nigerians and protection plan of the critical information infrastructure. We have been talking a lot have been happening. One of the things that is happening here is the attack on our critical information infrastructure. Protection plan of those critical infrastructure. We have been talking about AI and all those things. If you want to watch AI, watch Atlas, a movie that was acted by Jennifer Lopez. I think it was released this year. Watch Atlas and you will see what AI can do. Going into what are the threat landscape that we have been seeing, both in the National Cyber Computer Emergency Response Team, we have seen phishing. Phishing is one of the greatest problems that we have seen currently that is happening, and it will continue to happen. We have also voice phishing, account takeovers. Voice phishing, somebody will call you and take over your account. You yourself, you give out these credentials and they will take over your WhatsApp and take over your friend list. And we all know what is happening there. Second thing that we have seen is about business email compromise. Don't think that Nigerians are only doing the business email compromise out of Nigeria. The business email compromise is happening daily in Nigerians and they're keeping quiet about it. I have over 10 of that kind of. We have sextortion. Many or all, if we search your handset here, you will find naked pictures. True or false? True or false? It's true. We share those informations and somebody will take over your handset and then from there, sextortion starts. Blackmail, ransom. Ransomware that these guys have been talking about. We have 3 companies. While I was the manager of the Nigerian Computer Emergency Response, not companies, big organization, oil firms that were taking over. I was called to come and help. And so we did what we can. Are we prepared? When are we going to be prepared? The biggest preparation, the biggest way you will know that you are prepared is awareness. If you don't know, as according to the FORTINET guys, if you don't know, you can't do anything. And the criminals move at the speed of light, while we move at the speed of law and speed of budget. They have all the time to talk to each other. We don't have that time. The collaboration that we need to collaborate with each other, we need to talk to each other. We should not be federated. Everybody have his own federation sitting. I'm not talking to this guy. This is my territory. It doesn't work that way. The cyber criminals, he doesn't care. He's staying in London. The other one is staying in Russia. The other one is staying in Nigeria. They all get the same. They contribute to each other's crime. Crime now is a crime as a service. I don't need to know how to commit crime. I'll just pay and somebody will do the service for me. To attack Galaxy, I'll just pay $100 and somebody can attack it or attack your integrity. So crime is as a service now. So are we open to collaboration? Are we open to talk to each other? That is where we are in this country. Everybody is federated. Until we learn to talk to each other, until we learn to share, we'll continue to be hit. I will tell you, while I was at the EFCC far back in 2008 and 9, I set up what we call bank fraud forum. Because with one fraud, they will hit all the 25 banks. Because bank A is not talking to bank B to tell them this is the method they have defrauded me. So we set a fraud forum and said, okay, look, we are not going to tell the bank which bank has been defrauded, but this is the way ABCD has happened. So what can we do to solve this? And then everybody now was happy. And the fraud around that period came down. So talking to each other and sharing experience is key. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. The National Coordinator, National Cybersecurity Coordination Center, NSA, Malam Sahad Abubakar. Thanks for this exposition on the challenges, even the nation is having. And of course, the awareness, the need for the awareness and sharing, collaboration. So, like we rightly said, even during the last session we had earlier this year with Galaxy, that the awareness has to continue. The awareness is part of the process, whether we like it or not. So we need to keep our minds open and also ensure that we share. Sharing, even personally at times, they say problem shared is problem solved. If not totally solved, it's half solved. And for men, a lot of men don't talk. Men will almost be dying, will still be forming men. Do you agree with me? Because that's our nature. But at some point, we need to drop this ego. Let's share so that we can have a bit of relief. It's good. So the same applies to the cyberspace environment. We need to collaborate with one another to ensure that we share information on threats, events, frauds, and landscapes so that people can learn on time and prevent what has affected organization A so it doesn't affect B, C, and D. And like you rightly said, these guys are moving at the speed of light. And of course, today I'm learning that we also have the speed of budgets. You know, we learn every day. So the speed of budget. So I think it's good that that has been identified as a challenge also, because at times, if you don't understand what your challenges are, you find it difficult to solve them. And I'm sure the NSA office would have been doing something drastic about that to fast track, to ensure that budget is accelerated in order for them to get to do what they need to do to protect the national assets of our country. So once again, Malam Sahad Abubakar, we want to say a big thank you for this wonderful remarks. That being said, we are going to be having a quick just for us to stretch our legs and just move around a bit. We can also network at the same time. We're going to be having our tea break, which is the final tea break session before we have another brief session. Then question and answers will follow, and then our lunch time will follow. So please permit me to invite. Sorry. Hmm? Hmm? Tea break. Okay, so we are going to be having a quick tea break session. So please let's allow our guests to go first, and the rest will follow. Yes, our guests on this table, please. Let's allow them first, then the rest of us can follow for the tea break. Thank you very much. Yes, we can use it. Get that one. Get that one. No, get that one. No, that's okay. Okay. Sorry, our virtual audience. We're just on a short break. We are going to be back very, very soon. Please bear with us and stay put, please. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we can't serve you virtually. Maybe next time we'll make, I don't know, can make something out to sort that, please. So we apologize. Sir? Okay, maybe we use AI. Yes. The ED said we'll use AI to sort you out next time. So apologies. Please bear with us for today. But we'll be right back shortly. Thank you very much.
One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. One, two, one, two. Check sound two, sound two. Two, sound check. Sound check, one, two, one, two, one, two. Two, 1, 2. He'll place on there. And that's one on my in. We'll bring in, then bring out to the speaker. This one to take for everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2. Sound check. Check 1, 2. Check. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Check sound 2. 1, 2. 2, 2, 2. 1, 2. Sound check. Check sound 2. Check. Check 2. 1, 2. Sound check. Check sound 2. Check 1, 2. Check. Check 1, 2. Check sound 1, 2. Check sound 1, 2. Sound check 1, 2. Check sound 1, 2.
That is it, yes. Sure. That's why I was chased down. They will have escalated. Yeah. So.
Hello everyone. So I hope we had a good break because we're all able to get something to just feel a bit refreshed. So I'll basically be expanding on most of the concepts which you've already been hearing over the course of this engagement, right? So I'm talking about our AI-powered detection and remediation solutions in the FORTINET security operations platform or SecOps platform, right? So my colleagues have done a good job of, really telling you, creating the awareness as regards to the kind of challenges that organizations, especially in the government sector, have from a security perspective, right? So we'll be looking at what we, basically provide to enforce the kind of protection that you will need for those kind of interfaces. So by way of introduction, my name is Ebole Ikede. I'm a security engineer for Fortinet. So we basically oversee the technical aspect of our business within the region of West Africa, which I cover. Right. So I'll basically be going into the presentation, and if you have any questions at any point, feel free to interject, and ask. Right. Making it as interactive as possible. I'm also going to be quite quick for the sake of time because we actually did not start early, and there's item 7 coming up for those of us that are looking forward to it, right? So yeah, so I'll get right into it. The first thing we talk about, which you probably have heard already, is complexity. So we've talked about all the kind of security incidents which we experience within the cyber security landscape. And many organizations today, many MDAs, many sectors within, many organizations within that government sector, they have implemented different kinds of controls to prevent this kind of security incidents. But the challenge that is common across every security implementation is complexity, right? And that is one of the number one items which I'm just going to be talking about on this slide, right? So complexity, evolving threats, expanding attack surface, the complexity of products, and then most organizations have a security operations team, right? Which means you have security analysts, you have skills, you have people within your organizations who are supposed to be in charge of the security aspect, right? And these people are usually very overwhelmed with the different kind of security alerts that they have to manage on a day-to-day basis, right? So this is just speaking to some of those challenges, highlighting them within three categories: the threat landscape, things like ransomware, which we've talked about, data breaches, things that are specific to IoT devices, things that are specific to cloud, for example. A lot of government agencies have reservations when you talk about adopting cloud services, right? But you will see that to an extent, it's something you can't really do without, right? At minimum, you're probably having meetings with Zoom, which is a cloud service. You're probably using emails like Office 365, which is also a cloud service, right? So you have that interface that can be exploited by a cyber attacker. The attack surface is also expanding, right? So today you have people who are able to work from anywhere. You have everything connected to the internet. My laptop, this very phone, probably even my wristwatch is connected to the internet. And these cyber attackers are very smart. They look for very ingenious ways through which they can socially engineer, anyone associated with an organization to get credentials, which they can use, to weaponize and basically compromise that organization, right? And then the last pillar, which is the SecOps workload, right? So this is speaking to the challenge which we experience today. We also have a trend where a lot of people are leaving. A lot of people are going to Canada. There's this Japa trend, right? Which I'm sure we're all aware of. So even when you have skills within your organization, you employ someone, you train them, 2 years, 3 years, they will just send you an email that, they are going to resign and they are traveling out. So all of those things are things which we recognize. And our solutions are designed to basically address most of these concerns. And I'll be unpacking that as we go along within the presentation. So cybersecurity skills are in high demand, right? And on this slide, you're able to see some of the most important cybersecurity skills associated with the different domains, right? So things around cloud and application security, you see 60%, things around identity and access management, all the way down to the technical and advanced security skills, right? And like I talked about already, you see that 74% of organizations are experiencing IT skills shortage. So this is a report, compiled by our FORTINET cybersecurity team, just giving you that high level, visibility into the kind of challenges that I'm sure many of us in this room today can relate to. So looking specifically, in Nigeria, for example, so we have a total population of, approximately 229 million. Out of that, we have 78 million, which forms the working population. And